I'm not a monument for justice. I lost my hand. I lost my bride. Johnny has his hand. Johnny has his bride. You want me to take my heartbreak? Put it away and forget.
Can the cold open just be Olivia yelling?
Just a cold cut of that? Yeah. Just that. Yeah, that might be it. That might be it. You know what? That might be it. Hello, welcome to the podcast for podcasts, by podcasts. I'm Mario Henry.
Hello, welcome to the podcast. I'm Tyler J. Carcara. I'm Tyler J. The J stands for Micromatics. To start with the J. Carcara.
I'm Olivia Fumia.
It's a podcast where each week we pitch each other podcast ideas and then we make them happen. Spin the wheel.
You love choosing. It's Tyler 2 Pump Chump Carcara.
Claire isn't even home to dispute that. Can't even
or confirm it. It's sort of just depending.
The world may never know.
The world may never know until.
So we're just jumping into this one, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yep, just going in for it.
Yeah,
Tyler, what you got for us today?
Tyler, what you got for your little sig?
What you got for your 2 pump seg?
I often
What's your pitch, bitch?
go into big zone out sort of daydreams where I just think about nonsense. I know Olivia at least can relate to the nonsense that I think about for long periods of time.
Yep.
And one of the things that I think about sometimes is what would different historical figures say about either the modern day or to each other.
Okay.
And I just sort of think about like, what do you think George Washington and like Nicolas Cage would talk about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What would Jesus pod?
What was Jesus pod?
What would be Jesus'
WWJP. What would Jesus
podcast? You know? Is that a t-shirt idea? Let me write that down.
We do blaspheme by saying that we are real podcasters.
Yeah, that is true. Would Jesus sort of look down
we
upon
as
us?
the real podcast gods,
we
can rebuild them.
Oh.
And this is...
Oh my
like
God,
a Clone
Tyler.
High sort of oh no.
What are you suggesting
this
here?
This is a podcast where each week we, as the ghosts of historical figures, examine modern pop culture and the politics of the day. They're sitting down to have a drink, and we're calling this podcast Spirits with Spirits.
Oh, okay. A sort of drink-along pod.
Excellent.
Sort of a drink-along pod.
Excellent. Okay.
Where we, as historical figures, examine the modern day. What do you think?
Okay, so
sort of like a Clone High sort of.
Yeah, very much.
Okay, I like this.
But but very specific that we're ghosts. I think this is very important.
So it has to be, ghosts. So definitely spiritual.
Tyler,
energy.
I have no corporeal form.
Okay.
Corporeal form.
Okay. I like
one of
this.
us could be JFK.
all over.
Okay, I do think though, Tyler, I like conjuring the spirits of the dead. I think that's really important. I think getting the sort of story from the horse's mouth is super interesting. But I don't know. I personally don't have that power yet from my time here in Los Angeles. I do know a couple of spells, but I don't know if I can get that one. I can usually pull souls from hell.
You've been to the Magic Castle.
That's true. I probably could contact someone. But that's the thing. Who could we? Do we have?
Hang on.
I'm
feeling
I
everybody.
have successfully put a curse on someone.
Okay. Guys, I'm feeling a presence.
Oh,
it's a former president.
Oh, Bill Clinton.
His soul was sort of ripped from him by his wife at some point. I was gonna say Hillary sort of desouled him. After that was
Monica Lewinsky's sort of.
So
she like put her mouth on the other end of the
like
saxophone and just sucked.
No, the spirit is talking to me.
Oh,
and he
yeah,
says, "Nothing bad And what happens to the Kennedys? And it's that was just JFK sort of channeled through me. And this is a podcast where we channel.
We channel them through us.
Okay.
We go to hell for a while.
We become vessels.
Okay.
We become. This is a podcast
you're
where
telling
we become
me
the vessels. This is like we start it with us like around a Ouija board or something, and we do a podcast
Mother
seance.
Teresa quantum leaps into me to talk to you about current internet legislation and corporate corruption.
Okay, interesting. So we have.
You got it.
Okay,
I've nailed
okay,
this
interesting.
idea. Yes.
I'm with this idea. I do think. I know this isn't important necessarily to the structure and form of the show, but I do want to know what sort of dark pact are we make? Are we using Ouija boards? Like, what is the spell? I want to craft the spell.
I think that's something to discuss with you guys because I got to be honest, I'm not that deep into sort of pagan hell rituals.
You're not on witch talk. I get it.
As someone who has successfully put a curse on someone,
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I feel like I am uniquely positioned to answer this question.
Excellent.
Okay.
It is a lot to do with manifestation. It has to do with
So we gotta get the book The Secret.
elemental.
So we'll get the book The Secret, and that'll be sort of our like tome, our magical tome. Go on, Liver.
And then you want to use different sort of clean elements. Stones.
So
you wanna
Windex?
use Windex. Clorox cleanup.
Clorox.
Mr.
Okay.
Clean.
What's Mr. Clean? Okay.
So
all
we
right.
invoke the power of the secret and Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean.
and we
Mr.
An easy
Secret.
way to cast a spell is to put it into a witch bottle, which can be used for different things. I
Which
say
is
that
what-
we put it in like
which bottle is it?
I'm saying like I think that like a tub of fluff might work quite well. For
Okay,
this, for
all
this
right.
Situation historically.
Like marshmallow fluff?
Yeah, you heard me.
Some okay.
Okay.
So we'll take
Powerful.
some ripped up pieces of The Secret and then
Sprinkle
pour
them into
Mr.
some
Clean and
marshmallow
put it-
fluff with some
Fluff.
Mr. Clean,
Yeah.
and that'll summon.
that's
And
sort
then
of like a
Anne
toilet
Boleyn
potion.
slingshots through time into my body and has to go, oh God, why does everything hurt? And I got my head cut off.
And why is this Whopper song so catchy?
And what is a Whopper?
What is a Whopper?
What trends do we think that like?
Yes, that's what I kind of want to get to.
Tutankhamun would be like
actually,
really fucking
is-
into.
Ooh, how about this? Could I pitch you? Could it be famous historical figures talking about media representations of themselves?
Oh, so we have Hamilton. Come and watch Hamilton.
Exactly, and he says some kind of fashy stuff because he was actually not a great guy. Surprise!
That's where I think it kind of will end up, Tyler. If we do want to play Bill from
we
Hamilton,
don't
Olivia's
have
flexing
to
on
do white guys always.
Okay, all right,
Right?
sure.
Sometimes
I'll channel Malcolm X. This is what I want to try to get to, and Olivia's just sort of reading the playbill of Hamilton, so I think she's sort of checked out from this idea. But I'm
Could
still
we
with
summon
you,
Lynn?
Tyler.
Could we summon the
Could
ghost
we
of
summon
Lin-Manuel
Lin-Manuel
Miranda?
Okay. He's not dead yet, Tyler. But I
I'm
think
just
we can
trying
sort
in
of
the
rip.
public eye, trying to get by.
Tyler, I do want to pivot really quick.
Yeah, go
What
ahead.
is with all this Lin-Manuel Miranda hate? Because I get it, he's corny, but like I don't think the hate is more.
I think it's
deserved
because
than,
all
like,
of
your
his
Drakes.
songs, he's just oversaturated, and all of his
Yes.
songs sort of have the same rhyme scheme.
Yes, we
Okay,
did kind of
that's
compare
fair.
him to
All
Phil
of the
Collins.
songs sort of sound like I am just a guy in the public eye, trying to get by. I am in Encanto.
I like
John
where we're going.
Leguizamo.
Colombia.
Tyler, I'm trying to figure out where we can go with yours that is like a little bit more off the beaten path because I like the drinking aspect of it and I like the having them come back
So
to
are we
here.
crossing drunk history with Clone High? Is this
Yeah,
the kind
pretty
of
much.
That's what it
crux that
seems
we're-
like.
okay.
But a podcast, and that's sort
Is
of where
it
I'm
like,
hung up.
are we like spitting the truth as that character? As
Could
that-
it be
as
sort
that-
of a
is that
biography?
them- Is that telling their side?
Biography's
Could
pretty
it be
boring,
Harrison
though.
Ford talking to Henry Ford?
Okay, we're getting there. We're getting somewhere with it.
There's something here, is my point, and I think we just need to find that
Yes.
structure. But
Could we just sort of?
could it be JFK sort of being like, so you guys also
Could we
rallied
get-
around my death and turned the United States into sort of a modern utopia with lots of space travel? And we could be like, yeah, John,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we kind of
Yeah,
bungled the Cuba and
John.
Vietnam thing, John. Honestly,
We did beat that
I'm
one.
trying
You
to think
kinda
more. So can we
fucked
do
us
like
over there, pal.
can we do like a sort of we channel the ghosts, obviously, because
Right.
that's what we're doing. We're channeling the spirits. We're channeling their souls. Could we give them TikTok sort of personalities? Is there something there?
Like a sort of John Hinckley Jr. like
Could we do like
like a little like I'm a savage. Ooh, shot the president. Like,
president?
Got him.
Jodie Foster, call me. Like
Okay, yeah. We get Oppenheimer to talk about to watch all these like
Richard
these-
Nixon going,
Uh-huh.
I didn't fucking do this.
I didn't do any of this.
Don't worry about
okay,
it.
I
Don't
do
worry
shit.
about it. I didn't do shit.
we're bumping up against something here. There is definitely something here, but I don't know where to get it. Do we just is this a part of it? Is we just get drunk?
we get Jimmy
and then
Stewart?
channel their spirits?
Do we
through
just
us?
get drunk
Do
and
we
then
get
do
drunk and
accents?
do
Tyler,
bad
is it-
impressions of dead historical figures?
We just like do a Jimmy Stewart. And we just do like a, oh gosh, golly. Oh man.
What do I turn into Elvis? And I'm just like, oh yeah.
Austin Butler? Are you with us?
little mama.
Okay, Tyler. I do think we need to like sort of channel in and figure out what the show actually is, because I love the
Agreed.
concept around it.
Yes.
But I don't know what we would be podcasting about.
Yeah, what would we talk about? And I think it can change week to week based on sort of like a Virgil Horse, but instead of video game characters that we have to come up with whole cloth, it's historical figures.
So more so like a smart list, but we're channeling the spirit.
Could we have Richard Nixon talk about the Trump indictment, you know?
That's it, Tyler. We're there. This is where we're going with it. Each of us places our hand on the secret to channel the spirits, and each of us gets a different spirit to channel, and then the other two hosts interview that spirit just about stuff going on today. But we, as the other two hosts, don't know what
We don't know what
is going to
spirit
come
you're
out.
Let's figure out who it is.
Yes. That's it.
Does the person who's getting channeled into have to get drunk beforehand? Is that like a precursor to...
I don't know about the spirits.
We
thing,
can
Tyler.
change the name. We can change the name.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm
But I
not.
do
I'm not
like this-
deeply attached to spirits.
This sort
and
of
spirits.
sort of guess who sort of
It's
pop
like a
culture
headband
discussion pod.
charade, like 20 questions to figure out if you are...
I like this. So 20 Ouijas? Is that something? I don't know. What sort of spiritual guess who sort of thing are we channeling?
20,000 BC questions.
20? No, 'cause unless we do want to structure it that way, where it is we have to play 20 questions with the spirit. But I think that's a little bit too gamey.
Talking. Is that something there?
Talking,
with, like, talking heads.
Spirits, talking. Yeah, you're right.
Futurama sort of situation.
Yeah.
Spirits. Smart list spirits. Let's talk show a little bit more. Maybe we'll find name once we talk a little bit more show. So we're gonna be interviewing them, obviously, about pop culture. So I think we keep the questions in sort of the interview format, very current date, but I think whoever's channeling the spirit has to sort of we'll
Emulate
be sort of
as the spirit speaks through
answering.
them.
Yeah. So we'll definitely have to do a lot of research for this, and I really do like it. So it's the dead, something dead. Is there dead something in there? Dead Pilot Society,
wow.
Dead People Society.
How do you guys feel about the word apparition?
Apparition.
Wait. What is?
I don't know.
Wait. You guys know that new Russell Crowe movie? Stay with me on this. You know
Okay.
the new Russell Crowe movie coming out is called The Pope's Exorcist. Could this be the podcast's Exorcist?
Okay, I like it for the SEO. I don't know if it necessarily fits 100. Or are we trying to exercise the ghost with our pop culture questions?
Are we trying to figure out who they are? And
Is the
how to get them
question
to
more
leave?
like every week we let three souls take over the three of us, and the other two have to freak that person out about the future enough to get them to leave?
Here's another show, a little more show oriented. We have to continue the pod, but each of us gets possessed, and we have to figure out so that way we can figure out what to use to exorcise them. And then once we do, once we figure it out, we chant, we do whatever thing we need to do to exorcise that person, and then we find a new spirit. And that's the game.
Can we gamify this in a different way where it's like, once we start, you guys have 15 minutes to exorcise me, otherwise one of you gets taken over. And then it's sort
stakes.
of like sort of once it starts, it's like otherwise we have 3
So
former
if I
American
can't get
presidents wandering around.
Liberace out of Tyler, I become
Freddie
Judas
Mercury.
Iscariot.
Here's the thing, is that could go really well or it could go really bad.
You might
so
just have,
I'd be up here for
that's
it.
true. I think I'd rather have it more like we each interview the person.
Yeah, I would like more FaceTime with my
Yes.
dead presidents.
Yes.
So
would it be a surprise to the
Yes.
others? Okay, so every week
we don't know
that
what spirits
someone-
we're gonna channel when we touch the secret, the
Okay.
Mr. Clean secret. So I think that's sort of how we workshop it. And then I think to exercise them, we have to use something from their history to get rid of the spirit.
Okay.
It's sort of an interview exorcism. An interview with an
Yes!
exorcist. An
The
interview.
exorcist interview. Like an exit interview, something there. You know what I'm saying? Exit interview, exorcist
Can we
the
just
interview.
call
exit
it
as
the
in
exit
death.
interview?
Yeah, the exit interview. Let's see if that's a podcast.
Oh, it is actually. My friend actually made that podcast. It's
for
about
real?
dating though. It's about
yeah,
it's
okay.
about exes. Yeah.
This one's Dan Kwan Peoples and John Goodman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is these are career therapy, where do we go when we die?
All right,
how to
back on
stay
track.
confident, that sort of
Let's
thing.
do how do we feel about exorcist interview?
I feel like that's gonna be like, is this a priest that we're gonna be
it's like,
listening
are you
to?
interviewing?
Like, are you actually listening to like
yeah.
a clergy person?
Okay. Spirit,
Divination,
spirited away.
diviner, conjurer.
Possession pod?
No, possession pod's nothing. Podsession?
Podsession.
That sounds like a Succession watch-along podcast.
Yeah, pod session
Yes.
or an obsession.
Which, hey,
podcast,
write it down,
whatever
somebody.
niche. So,
Is this one we want to circle back to?
yeah,
Yeah,
we
let's-
might have
let's
to come
circle
back
back
to
to
it
it
in
just so we can
deliberation.
get
We've been
going.
on this one for a little bit. Yeah.
Yep. All right. We'll circle back to it. Let's have a temp name. What's our temp name? Just so we have something to put. What about Exorcist Interview? You really don't like it?
I prefer the exit interview, but that's already taken. The
Wait,
Exorcist
yeah.
interview is not bad. Let's go with that for now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. We'll temp in the Exorcist Interview. Let me make a doc real quick. Forgot to make a doc. All right. Let's get to the wheel.
And the spinner!
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
We are podcasters,
That is true.
Yeah.
which means we are extant within the media space. Our sort of DNA is left upon the internet forever.
Yes.
We will never die, and we are at least somewhat well known. So I ask you three this.
Yeah.
What letter celebrity are you? And that's sort of the concept of this podcast. Is that we have our A-list celebrities, we have our B-list celebrities, but who are our G-list celebrities?
Who are our F-list celebrities?
Exactly. Who are and like the people that we don't even know of, the people who exist on this planet but we don't even know of, are those our Z-list celebrities. And this is a sort of celebrity ranking podcast. The mayor of Kansas City. What level celebrity is he?
Okay. Sort of a social strata sort of ranking situation. Okay.
But specifically for celebritydom, I think is important.
Okay.
I think the amount of impressions you make on the world,
your accomplishments
that sort
and
of thing.
effects on other people. Okay. I can get down with this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So like my playwriting professor in college, what kind of, he has
what letter
publicly,
celebrity are they?
What
Are they
letters- what letter is Jake? I
L
don't
list, a P list?
A P list, yeah. Because then we also have to decide, like, what defines that list? Is it a household name, Because, like, you have, like, musicians who are, like, famous and they tour and they do very well, but then there's people who are like, I've never heard of that or the genre that they play in.
Exactly.
So we have to sort of, do that and then figure out where we fit in. Like, would it be like sort of a warm up of doing other people, and then sort of deciding based on those observations where we.
I think we create a sort of because we can build. This is two options. One, we could each bring like a group of people and sort of like rank them there. Because another thing is like there are other podcasters that are sort of like in that strata, right? And we could sort of top down build it out, or we could sort of each episode is a different letter. And we say, this letter is L-list celebrities. These are the people that live within the L-list celebrity sort of canon. And then maybe we open the episode with like who has jumped letters, who has dropped letters, you know?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sort
of a celebrity talk pod.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Social carbon dating. Okay.
Yep.
Could you give me an
could
you give me an example of an L-list celebrity? Because here's the thing about L-list celebrity. This is going to be so niche. Do people actually care? You know, someone solidly in the middle, like someone who has a recurring extra part on Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah,
like if I know who they are, do like depending on how many people like know who they are, do they rise or fall, kind of thing.
Yeah, there's the guy who plays Hector in every movie. I wouldn't say he's an L-list celebrity, but he might be like an E-list celebrity, you know?
This reminds me of there was a mobile game that I played in high school.
Okay.
That was it was the only Kardashian property that I ever interacted with.
Okay.
And the goal was to be an A-list celebrity. You had to rise your
I
way
also
up
remember
the ranks.
this game.
And this is what this is reminding me of now.
I remember seeing advertisements for this game.
Yes, this was
another angle for this podcast is we find where we live and then we try to figure out what we could do to get higher on the
We launch a viral campaign to rename zoo animals.
More stunts, baby. 20 Triple P. We're doing stunts for this one. Maybe we turn it into a stunt pod where we figure out what we could do and sort of theorize and sort of take a look at what the A-list celebrities did to get to where they are. Kim Kardashian, what did she do to get to her sort of A-list celebrity status? You know, and we examine the different musicians and sort of see if we can sort of pick our own ways out of figuring
and sort
out
of
what
like
we could do.
bacon number each other in comparison to other lists, I suppose.
Exactly. And sort of maybe outline our past. Maybe we go a little bit more Mr. Carcara Goes to Monaco and we sort of document our rise to A-list celebrity. Olivia, what was the name of that game? So that way we could maybe steal that name for the title of this podcast.
It up. Kim Kardashian.
Now, Tyler, what do you think about this sort of a celebrity pod experience we're building out here?
About our celebrity and developing our celebrity?
About either our celebrity developments or, just sort of generally what this pod could be.
Olivia, what's the name you're laughing at over there?
Kim Kardashian, Hollywood. Kim Kardashian Hollywood is a casual free-to-play role-playing game that was released on iOS in 2014. In the game, the player's goal is to increase their fame and reputation, starting on the E-list and rising to the A-list. The game is fronted by American media personality Kardashian and makes regular appearances as that character. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good.
So yeah, I don't know how specifically we want to structure this, but I've given out enough sort of stuff as far as like we could talk about random people, we could talk about ourselves and how we rise to it. Is there a way we can marry those two ideas?
I mean,
could it be interviews with people trying to get famous?
Oh, we just sort of ladder climb our way. So that's the pod. That's the first episode. Maybe we do the pilot of this episode, right? This is usually not how we do the podcast B segments. But if we want to do this,
we very much do an in media res sort of model.
We do it in media res, podcast pilot episode 1. We determine where we are as celebrities, and then we sort of use that as a jumping off point to try to see who we can get on the show, who's the level above us that we could get on the show to jump our rating. How do we think?
I love that. I love that.
Yes.
Sort of like how people like start with a pencil and they trade their way up to a Lamborghini.
Yes. We interview our way to A-list celebrities.
Our way to A-list celebrities.
Oh, that's great.
And we start with like someone's mom. And someone's mom knows like
the mayor.
Be a mayor who knows like a
okay. I'm liking this. I'm liking this development.
Player's best friend who gets the basketball player on.
Okay, this is it. 5-minute interviews, where every episode we try to trade up to get to where we can get.
Is the interview just trying to figure out who the most famous person that person knows?
Yeah. Yeah, the interview is like,
probably what's
okay,
going to be.
what do you do? How do you do it? Okay, who do you know? Who would pick up the phone for you right now? Let's get them on the phone.
Yeah.
And then we just sort of
and
climb
every episode
up
is
and
how
up.
many people can we get? In
How
one
many people
episode?
can we
Very
get
funny.
them to trade into? Yes, exactly. This one will obviously require a lot more work, but I think it could be so much fun to like sort of see if we can ladder climb our way up to stardom.
Yeah.
We
So
get
maybe-
all the way to like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, we get Tom Cruise on the pod. I'm sure he'd love it. And all of our sort of
I have a
good
name
podcast
idea.
work we've
Yeah,
done
I
so
also
far.
I have
You go
a
first,
triple
Lover.
P. I have a triple P
Okay.
name.
Okay.
The Paperclip People Podcast.
Paperclip People Podcast. Now, why the paperclip?
Because
we're-
that's the
Oh, 'cause
original
we're trading up the paperclip.
Yes.
Oh,
Could-
the Paperclip People.
I'm thinking
I
more like,
that.
are you guys familiar with the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm
Do
very
we
much
call
aware of
this
my Kevin.
the triple
The
P's
26
of Kevin,
degrees of-
Kevin Bacon?
That's funny. Is that the goal to get Kevin Bacon on the podcast? Let
The
me just quickly Google Kevin.
Well, that's the thing. Everyone is 6 degrees from Kevin Bacon.
I believe I am
Uh-huh.
3 degrees from Kevin Bacon.
The
I
6
believe I am 2 degrees. 2 degrees from Kevin Bacon.
2 degrees
No.
would be you know someone who knows Kevin Bacon.
3 degrees from Kevin Bacon. Tyler, you
Yeah.
are also 3 degrees from Kevin Bacon.
Who do we know that knows Kevin Bacon?
Brandon Wahlberg.
Oh, who knows Mark Wahlberg? Who
Kevin
knows
Bacon.
Kevin Bacon? That's right.
Yeah.
That is a great way. That is
We
a great
could
way.
we could start
Could
with
we get
Brandon
Brandon
Wahlberg
on this pod?
Fuck. We could probably
Fuck.
get Brandon on the show.
Can we get Brandon on the show?
An actual quasi celebrity. I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's
He's probably
fair.
the most famous person we have
Yeah.
the phone number of, right?
Yeah. I could text him, be like, "Hey, this isn't movie related." I'll give him an update on where the movie is, and then be like, "Oh fuck." For those who don't know, we did a feature film as part of our senior year thesis that did
O'Neill and I
cast
worked on it.
Brandon Wahlberg in the film nephew of Mark Wahlberg. So there's that. Okay, so the
Pretty good. I'd say. Pretty good.
the Paper People Clip podcast, the Paper People Clip.
The Purple People Leaders podcast. Writing that down.
Okay.
We found it. We've got 2 excellent ideas so far.
Yeah. Great. All right. Liver.
Hit
Last
us.
one about lunch. Oh.
Oh, this is props.
Olivia Fumiati goes to space. This is my documentary on how I become an astronaut.
So this is you've taken Mr. Carcardo
Yeah.
to Monaco, and this
And
is
I'm getting galactic.
This is Ms. Fumiati goes to space.
Yes.
Yep.
Enters orbit.
All right. Just pulling up astronauts requirements from the NASA.gov website here. Just going to sort of list off some of them.
Let's take a look
So
at
what
it.
does it take to hashtag be an astronaut? Love this website so far. It's great. Number 1, be a U.S. citizen. Olivia, you've already got that one
Hell
down.
yeah.
Nailed it.
First job, check.
Born here.
All right, number 2, possess a master's degree in a STEM field, including engineering, biological science, physical science, computer science, or mathematics from an
I could
accredited
I could do
institution.
that. I could do a biological science for sure.
And,
You're gonna do biological
but do you
science.
have to go back and get a bachelor in order to get into a master's program?
No, you can
No.
you can just
You can
go
apply
from
for any
any
master's
you can go
program.
from any bachelor's to a master's
And
program.
I currently
We've
work
learned
at a accredited university that will allow
Mm-hmm.
me to take classes for free, and I could therefore get that degree for free.
Ooh,
It might
the
take
next
you a
one,
while.
so far.
Not step
I can
3.
get it.
Have at least 2 years of related professional experience obtained after degree completion, or at least 1,000 hours pilot in command time on jet aircraft.
Okay.
Obviously the 2 years of experience I could probably get post grad.
Post grad, yeah.
The flying thing, I could pull some strings.
Okay.
but
All right.
It might take a little bit longer than 2 years
Okay.
because I do have to
And
get
then the
a
last
commercial
one-
license first.
Yeah, that's fair. And then the last one is be able to pass the NASA long duration flight astronaut physical. Now I am gonna look up what that is here in a moment.
Yes.
But Olivia, let's dive in. Why do you want to go to space?
What? What do you? It's space, dog.
Yeah, but like
Okay. Do you want you know the actual reason? You want to know the actual
Yeah.
reason?
I do.
Okay. It's a philosophical reason, okay? There is this theory. It's called the overview effect.
Okay.
And it is a cognitive shift that is reported by some astronauts whilst viewing the Earth from outer space. Mm-hmm. It's essentially, the effect is a like state of awe with self-transcendentalism and like the visual striking stimulus. I'm not saying, okay, here's my other thing. I don't necessarily need to be an NASA astronaut.
Yeah, you could
just go up in one of those Jeff Bezos. Yeah. Now, here's my question for you, Liver.
Yes.
Why not just take a lot of mushrooms to feel the same thing?
Yeah, why don't you just sort of get that sort of
realize that we're all connected in sort of a deep and existential way.
Also a good, that'll make good audio.
It's just 5 minutes of Olivia being like, "Oh, these mushrooms taste bad," and then 30 minutes of Olivia freaking out.
I can attest it's gonna be 30 minutes.
And then it's going to be a repeat of the first 30 minutes of this recording session where I talk about Quantum Leap for a little bit.
True,
hey,
true,
guys,
true.
I do have the NASA long-duration spaceflight physical.
Yes, I also have it up.
Right here.
Yeah, hit me with it.
Visual acuity must be correctable to 20/20 in each eye.
Got it. Nailed it. Crushed it.
Well, you'll have to take your glasses off.
You can wear glasses. I have checked. I have checked that requirement.
Okay.
You can
So
wear glasses.
okay,
I can
it's
also,
like
I can
correctable in each eye just means that with glasses you have
with
to have
glasses.
20/20.
Yes.
Because some people literally cannot get to 20/20 even with glasses. So
that's fair. That's
Correct.
fair.
Blood pressure not to exceed 140/90 measured at a sitting position.
I think I'm in the 130s.
We'll have to make sure you're relaxed out for this.
And the candidate must have a standing height between 62 and 75 inches.
I'm 69
How tall
inches.
are you, Liver?
Nice.
Nice.
Thanks.
Actually,
you know what?
How tall are you? How tall is 69 inches?
I'm gonna admit this.
5'9".
Nope. I just told you the lie I told the government. I am not 69 inches tall. I am 70 inches tall. I am 5'10".
Yeah, I thought you were taller. You're not much shorter than me.
I am 5'10". I lied to the DMV because in Connecticut they measure your height in inches. So I have 69 inches on my on my state issued driver's license.
Now, Olivia,
Pretty good.
I am a little bit worried because this might disrupt your NASA sort of qualifications because you've lied to the government now. And NASA is a United States on mic. This is recorded.
Astronauts have done worse.
Name one time.
Name one. Okay, this is great. So this is a sort of docu-pod documenting your trip to space. Now, what qualifies you going to space? If we get you to 0G orbit, does that count?
I just want to leave the Earth's atmosphere and be able to look at
like Jeff Bezos. Like Jeff Bezos' like commercial spacecraft doesn't actually go to space.
I'm fine with a SpaceX, a Blue whatever. Like I'm fine with that, the Blue Origin. I just want to leave Earth's orbit and be able to view Earth from like a window outside of the orbit in hopes that I experience the overview effect.
Olivia, this can just be done with yet another Kickstarter.
Yeah, we can just keep on Kickstarter in this one. Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
We just become the podcast people give money to do dumb shit. Like Mr. Beast.
Podcast.
We're Mr. Beast.
Yeah, honestly, we're the Mr. Beast podcast. Is that the name of this podcast?
The other name I have suggested is Olivia's overview effect is the other one.
Overview effect. I like Olivia goes to space. It does. I just sort of like that energy.
I also like that it kind of follows the naming conventions of the Olivia Pig books from my childhood. Where it's like Olivia joins the circus, Olivia does the ballet, Olivia goes to fucking space, dog.
Olivia goes to space on the penis rocket. Yeah, what flight?
Let's see how much it costs to go into space. Now, could you do like a super cheap, shitty Russian space shuttle that you can pay?
I don't think so, Tyler. I don't think any American citizens will be able to.
I'm not willing to collaborate with other nations.
Oh, so it has to be an American. Okay, so that's the first
have like the
codicil to this
America
podcast.
patch on your.
It has to be an America. Hey, Olivia, you might have lost some points with NASA with the 69 thing, but I think you just got some points with NASA. You're sort of an America first.
I did fix it back when they did change my license. This was when I was a youth, when I had a vertical license in Connecticut. I now have a horizontal license, and they have since changed it to read it as feet and inches.
Space tourism. How much does it cost? Who's offering it? Currently, it's only available to those who can spend an average of $250,000 to $500,000 for suborbital trips, about 15-minute ride to the edge of space and back. That's what Jeff Bezos did.
That's not terrible. 250,000?
Or flights to actual orbit at more than $50 million per seat.
Yeah, I can't do that one. The suborbit I could probably do, because I was trying to explain
That's
to my
just
friend.
one college degree.
That's exactly what I was trying to explain. My roommate, I was like, hey, how much do you pay in your student loans every month? And he was like, oh, about $600. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really low. And he was like, not really. And I was like, dude, I pay $1,600 a month for my student loans. I have $125,000 in student loan debt. I did the math. My brain is worth $250,000. So, if
so maybe you make a promise.
My brain, I'll donate my brain to science if I get to go to space.
I'm trying to see how many people have gone to space.
A lot of people.
A lot of people have gone to space. Only American men have ever stepped foot on the moon.
622.
However, as of the date of this recording, we are recording this on March 31st, April 3rd at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, NASA will be announcing the crew of the Artemis II mission,
where
they will put the first woman and the first person of color on the moon in their Moon to Mars.
That's 2025, I believe.
They are hoping to get somebody up there by 2024, and then after that, they are hoping to establish a base on the moon to do further exploration, in addition to doing
ready to
further
go Mars, baby,
research.
red planet.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I have a couple of things. We do know a space scientist. Actually, I know two. We know our friend who was on the Outside Sports Ball pod, Jessie, who knows a lot about space and sort of space travel. That might be nice to have her on the pod.
Yes.
And I have a friend who works on satellites, doing stuff for the U.S. government, but also just for, good satellite stuff. My question is, how is this a docu-pod? Is this a sort of, how are we doing this? Is it all out, We've Got a Zoo? Because then I think that one has to come after.
I'm trying
we do have a sort of
this will be a much longer term project, I believe. It could take several years, considering I have to get a master's or learn how to fly a plane for 1,000 hours. However, I also am very much inspired by, unfortunately, one of the astronauts who did perish during the Challenger tragedy, who was a high school teacher, and her training was her master's degree in education. So that is also an option for me.
So could you be the first
screenwriter
with a master's degree in filmmaking to go to space? Nah, because fucking what's his name is Nolan's going up there.
I have a bachelor.
Tom Cruise is going up there. Has already been up there.
Tom Cruise is going up there.
Well, he's also a pilot.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is a pilot. He definitely has 1,000 hours. Yeah. The plane.
Tom Cruise has 1,000 island dressing.
The plane Tom Cruise flies at the end of Top Gun Maverick is his plane.
That's
he
his
owns
plane.
that
That's
plane.
His Mustang.
That's very funny. That's very good.
Yes.
Okay, let's nail down and then we can decide where we want to chase it. Do we want to say that Olivia Fumiati will be the first person with a master's degree in screenwriting to go to space?
We need a hook for the audience.
Yeah, what's the hook? Give us that hook.
Just like we will be the first people to name an animal at the LA Zoo podcast.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of what I can contribute to America's great lineage of going to outer space.
Olivia will be the first person to go to space on the outside of the rocket.
Just hanging on like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
You can go to space, you just can't come back. Guys, I got it.
Oh, okay.
I'm the first person who's gonna die and have my body be left in orbit.
You're gonna be the first. No one has died.
I'm gonna be.
No one. Hang on. No one's died in space. Fun fact.
No one has died in space.
That's crazy.
No one has people have died.
Okay,
in
NASA, stop listening. NASA, stop listening. Stop listening. You're legally not allowed to listen.
I'm saying that I want to be the first person where my body becomes a natural satellite.
Olivia's like, I want my body to be like the Tesla car they shot into space.
I want people to be able to see my body in the night sky hurtling through space.
Can we put Olivia's corpse, like Weekend at Bernie's Olivia's corpse, in a Tesla car that's being shot off into the universe for all time.
saying,
just with like some cool sunglasses.
If you like tucked me into like the heat shield, and when it deploys, it just like airbags me into orbit.
sort of spinning wildly in the zero gravity forces.
Like
I love
I'm
that.
just wearing
it's very
like
beautiful.
scuba gear. And, like, I just get launched, and I'm like, that's it, I'm out. And, like, my body won't decay. I'll become a satellite forever.
Well, it might get torn apart by all the space dippers.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
That's fine. But, like, there's still footprints
Olivia,
on the moon.
if you,
I'll get a little sun bleached.
Olivia, your little nieces and nephew, will...
Yes, upcoming,
okay.
yes. Soon to be.
Your little nieces and nephews will look upon the sky and say... My aunt's is scattered among the stars.
We're all just space dust.
My friend's in there.
my aunt's out there. Is that what we want to name the pod? My aunt's out there?
Holy crap. And if I do make it out of orbit in time to see the Earth from outer space, I get to obtain my lifelong dream of experiencing the overview effect, and then I get to immediately die.
Yeah.
That like I experience the overview effect. I transcend normal humanity, and then I become a beacon in the sky.
For
mankind.
What's that one our Piano Boys song about going to space? I'm with it. That's going to be sort of our
Rocket Man?
Rocket Man.
Ground control to Major Time.
Pre-flight.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking... okay. Let's part the kimono a little bit. I think this is feasible. We could do it audio drama style if we want.
I think
sort of
we could also do it's episodic. Like it's me tackling every sort of challenge along with that. It's very similar to Simone Yacht. She is I believe she's Swedish, but she's a friend of Adam Savage's, and a couple years ago she did like her own like space school where she was like, I want to see how long I can handle being alone in an enclosed space for a long period of time, and she locks herself in her bathroom for 48 hours and like does other like stuff like that. I could totally do that.
Sure. A podcaster is just we record Olivia locked in her bathroom alone for 48 hours.
It's just me trying to figure out how to yodel for like the first 20 hours.
Yeah.
And then going, I wonder what it's going to feel like when my skin freezes in outer space.
Now,
very existential. I love it.
Now, here's the thing. Do you have to do all this training if you're already dead when you get launched into space?
No, she wants to be. That's the thing, Tyler. She wants to be alive.
I want the overview effect. I want to be able to transcend my I want to experiencing humanity on like a grand scale. Go, that's the meaning, and then I immediately get fucking the air gets sucked out of my lungs, and I get turned into a little Capri Sun, and then I become the first human satellite.
Yeah, I love it. All right, I'm loving this. I think we run this audio drama style, and then maybe after a couple of years, we get your niece and nephew sort of on the pod to just talk about what it's like to know that their aunt's out there.
My aunt's
I love it.
My aunt's up there is such a good name for a pod. Oh shit!
All right.
Fuck! Should we move to deliberation?
I think it's time to let's do a recap.
I just got lightheaded. I was just laughing.
All right. My podcast is an exorcism-based podcast where each week the three of us swear on the secret and Mr. Clean and become a famous historical figure, and you have a set amount of time to exorcise them from your co-host body. Yeah,
currently called the Exorcist Interview. Temp name. My podcast, the Paperclip People Podcast, is a podcast where we try to trade our way via interview up to A-list celebritydom. I also did just realize that I do actually work for an A-list celebrity that I can't talk about.
Yeah, dog.
But
but you can't.
I can't.
Call
yeah,
them.
I
You don't have
can't.
their
There's
phone
no
number.
way.
You're just
no, no,
yeah,
no, yeah. But that's the Paperclip People Podcast, trading our way via interviews up to celebritydom. Liver?
My aunt's up there is a podcast that details my journey from and exploring my options to either become a NASA astronaut, a American civilian space tourist, or the first human satellite to be launched into space and immediately die.
just
powerful
stuff.
And now it's time to go to deliberation. Powerful stuff. Powerful podcasts. How are we feeling?
I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Not about mine, but like I liked the way that it developed.
Yeah.
I like all three of them. The Exorcist Interview is growing on me as a name.
As far as title goes, I really like Exorcist Interview. I love the wordplay, the punnage of it. I think it works. I think people would know, like, just sort of off the name, generally what it's about.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Okay, cool.
The Phantom Facade.
The Phantom of the podcast.
That's a different one, Tyler, but I'm writing that the fuck down.
No, he fucking took it. God damn it. I'll pitch it before you.
TM.
Okay,
The Phantom of the podcast is.
The podcast is.
That's pretty good.
Can you check my mic levels,
Whichever one comes up with the better
please?
one first. That's all that is. All right.
I know what it would be too, Phantom of the podcast.
Oh, well, then
Never mind,
you can
next.
take it. I have no big concept for it. Take it. Okay. Let's maybe this is how we usually start. Are any of these bit depths? Maybe my aunt's upstairs a bit depth.
I can't say
The
that.
name is gonna get me every time. The name is gonna get me every single time.
It's so funny.
It's very good. I have a couple of like screenplay treatments about like space and stuff. All right, let's part the kimono slightly. Could we just make this like an audio drama, like very hammy, make it like we're, setting it in?
I could absolutely do that. That would be the acting like achievement of my life.
And this would be a bit depth, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
I would be okay. I would be okay with that
yeah.
as a bit depth. I don't think it would take too much effort. It would take some effort in the writing end, but it wouldn't be like the Glassies where it takes a lot of effort throughout.
Yeah, it would be easy to record. Just
yes.
Yeah.
Just the writing.
I
would
like
be the only
that.
thing
I like
takes time.
that.
So,
If you're
Okay.
okay with that, going to Olivia. If you're good without going
The bit
to
depth
the
land?
depth land, then
Absolutely.
we can
It
debate
deserves
between
its time in the sun, and so do I.
without the atmosphere and the sort of ozone layer blocking your connection. Yeah, 100%.
My aunt's in the atmosphere.
Auntie in the
aunt's-
atmosphere is definitely the
My
second
aunt's
episode.
up there.
Okay, that leaves
okay,
the
that
Exorcist Interview and Paperclip People Podcast. Both have their
okay,
merits.
I'm gonna tell you my two things. One, we haven't
Okay,
done characters
yeah.
in a bit.
We haven't
True.
done characters in a bit.
We haven't done characters.
I
in a bit.
mean, the Glassies is characters, but
I
we
mean,
didn't
we
do
did classes,
characters.
but
Yeah,
but
true.
we wrote the characters. We were not the characters.
Yes, true.
We did not do character work. Also, the idea of talking to celebrities makes me want to launch myself into space in a different way.
But it would be
because-
good for the podcast. Let me check how many followers Brandon has.
O'Neill, here's my thing.
Jim Cummings follows me on Twitter.
Pretty good.
Who
Here's
several famous people
O'Neill,
also follow.
here's my argument for yours. Yours
Uh-huh.
has the most potential to be unlistenable.
Fair.
Like
Yeah.
if the interviews themselves are bad, or the next person we get on the phone really doesn't want to be there and doesn't catch the vibe of what we're doing, then it could be we might have to do we might have to do it multiple times to get something listenable, is my thing. Like
That's fair.
it might be like, okay, one time we start with Olivia's mom and one time we start with O'Neill's influencer friend. You have to work your way up, but that's the thing is it might end up like the most famous person is like someone who sold a tech company somewhere, and that's it. Like, you know what I mean? And they're not a good
I definitely
interview.
think Tyler, this is a running bit, obviously, but I've been out in LA long enough that I could definitely get some pulls, especially connection-wise. I do know people who actually do have like personal ties to celebrities at my current place of employment.
Yeah.
Would these would be cold calls on the podcast, right?
No, I think it'd be reach outs. I think it would be
They would-
5 minute
they would have to
interview.
be arranged
Here's
because,
what the structure of the Paperclip Pod. I mean, I'm not fighting for it necessarily. I just want to clarify what it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
It would be like a 5 minute interview of who do you know, how can we get them? That's essentially what the interview would be.
Yeah.
And then jokes and bits, obviously. And then we connect via that person offline. Then we get that person on the pod. Who do you know? How can we get them?
Okay, so
And
it's not
cycle
in
through.
real time.
No, not in real time. I think it would be funny if we have people who actually know people who they could FaceTime, famous people being able to like FaceTime ScarJo or whatever. But, you know, if they have that sort of connection, that would be great. But it is mostly just a who do you know? How can we get them on the show? And then make goofs about like, and then again, about like maybe we bring back in that sort of lettering list celebrity sort of thing. Or maybe that's just how we grade ourselves. I don't know.
I really like this idea. I think it could work.
Yeah.
I think it would go off better if we had a little more clout. If we had an animal named at the LA Zoo, for example.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, they have a set amount of listeners. They do silly stunts all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I think more people be willing to be involved in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
us,
could we kick it into bit depth land
that.
where if we get a bunch of, you know, sort of clout or listenership in the future as we progress, we come back to it, because I feel like there's like a minimum threshold. Like right now we're F-list celebrities, you know,
we're like HIJK, we're JK list celebrities.
Exactly. So I feel like there's like a minimum letter grade. We gotta get to at least F. Because if it's like, you know, Scarlett Johansson, even if it's someone she knows, isn't gonna be like, yeah, let me fucking go on, you know, this podcast that has no listener base or anything. Like that's just not happening. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not lucrative or
I feel like this is a way to launch us from like G-list celebrities to D-list celebrities. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we haven't reached
I'm with
it.
I can handle that.
I'm with
or like
that.
we could get like a voice part in
exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm perfectly
this is
fine.
like a post We Bought a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll put this with our aspirationals. Okay, so cool. We have 2 bit depths, and then I guess that leaves the Exorcist interview. I like it. I'm with it. Fun. We haven't done characters in a bit. All right.
My aunt's.
That's gonna be a very good audio drama. I'm so for it.
And we'll be right back right after these messages.
So the day that we were recording this is Trans Day of Visibility. In the last couple of years, through the American political powers that be, have basically launched an attack on trans youth and trans people in the United States. And it's getting pretty bad out here, fam. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
While I might be the first non-binary aunt to get launched into outer space, I would really love to be a non-binary aunt who can live on Earth first. So this isn't like a joke. This isn't like funny. I genuinely believe that if you are here and you are listening and you care about other human beings, it does feel like there's like we can't do a lot because we're individuals who, again, are not D-list celebrities.
Yeah.
We're just a couple people with microphones who make dumb jokes about shooting our dead bodies into space. But like if you are in a contentious state for these trans issues, please, for the love of all that is good, all that is decent in humanity and the world, write to your state legislator, your congress people, your senators, your local elected officials. Please let it be known that these kind of legislations are not something that you stand for. Because no one's like, we're not hurt. Like, I'm sorry, it's not a joke.
No.
Please.
This is great.
Like, I genuinely, as a person who is very frustrated with the way that my community is being treated, I am literally on my fucking podcast knees to beg you to please do what you can to advocate for people who are being stripped of their ability to advocate for themselves. That's all I have to say.
Along with that, we will be putting a link in the podcast description. This will probably just live in our sort of floating always episodes thing, but to the National Center for Transgender Equality, or NCTE. And we'll put a link there too if you want to donate to them, because they are also doing a lot of this work. This is just something I looked up just off the top, so I actually haven't looked into what work they do and like how effective they are. If you are a listener and have a different suggestion for another group we can sort of support that might need it a little bit more, especially in these embattled states. We definitely want
to help provide funds for trans people to get the help that they need in a monetary and tangible sense.
Yeah. living out here in LA, we do sort of have those blinders on because it is so like accepting and inclusive, and it does sometimes you do get those stark reminders that there are people out there living in areas where their identities aren't being recognized and sort of being shunned and being put in dangerous situations for just existing, which is never okay. So
it's pretty fucked out there, guys, but
stay safe, take care of each other,
do your part to help others, love each other, and
and I guess check out our website.
Check out our website.
Oh, Jokes, you're back.
Oh, Jokes, hey,
Jokes, you came back in the room. Wow.
Jokes,
you didn't want to hear our message?
Yeah.
Jokes say trans rights, and follow us on all our socials at Triple P Cast and tell your friends about us.
Triple P Cast,
with that, we'll be right back with the Exorcist Interview.